Do you think you could be all the way honest with your woman?
No, because you're not supposed to be all the way honest.
I rebuke that.
Let me explain. You ready?
Yes.
Let's just say we have a semi-open relationship, right?
Okay.
And you call me. You want me to say I'm with this freak, I'm gonna try to hit it, I'll call you back? That's honest. Or, baby, can I call you back? I'm with a friend.
Don't say I'm with a friend.
Yeah, it's a friend.
That's a lie.
She's a friend. If she's in my presence, she's some sort of friend. She's not my girlfriend. She's some sort of friend. So you say you want honesty. If you can handle it, yeah. But if you can't handle it, sometimes you have to protect them. You have to protect the feelings.
Dang.
That's all I'm saying.
That's wild.
Yeah, I'm with a friend. That's not a lie. I'm not giving you details, but I'm with, like, you really want me to say, hey, I'm in Vegas, I'm with this little freak.
I want the truth.
So
me.
You want me to say I'm in Vegas, I'm with the little freak, she charged me $1,000, I'm gonna try to get it to 700. I'm gonna knock her down. I'm gonna knock her down. You know me, it's gonna take about 5 minutes. I'm gonna call you back in 10 minutes. That's what you want to hear? Or you want to say, baby, I'll call you back in 20 minutes. I'm in a meeting.
No, you want, not in a meeting. No, right? You know what I want to hear? I want you to tell me before we commit to our relationship that you are still outside and you're not ready to be sexually monogamous with me. Okay. But in every other way, you are. And so if you just say, I'm busy, I don't want you to make up a story because I don't like that.
Well, he's busy.
So, Shaq says, never tell women the full truth. What do y'all think about that?
Yes, correct. 100%.
I agree. And the fact that he said semi-open relationship and that went over her head.
That's because she's never dated a man with money.
Yeah.
I doubt it. She's a good-looking woman, so I'm very sure good-looking men with money have been in her DMs for sure. They have approached her.
It's already semi-open.
Yeah, exactly. Like that just went over her head. Anyway, he's right. I agree.
Carrie,
women can't
do you
handle
agree or do you disagree?
No, I disagree. I disagree.
Well, we can tell that just from the look on your face.
I disagree, and I think that Shaq was being a little slick by saying, what is a semi-open relationship anyway? That sounds like
dealing with a rich man,
not being upfront about wanting to be with other women, and then the girl asking him about it and him being like, oh, we're not in like a completely closed, committed relationship. I thought we were in a semi-open relationship. So I like her response. I want you to be upfront with me from the jump because, yeah, there's probably a lot of women who will be okay with it. But I don't know. The way Shaq just told that story, he doesn't come across. He did not come across to me like he would be upfront. I would have thought he would have, but he seemed like he kind of snuck around that one. So,
but men don't like to be. I mean, women don't like men to be upfront.
Yes, in the beginning of a relationship, yes, we do.
No, not at all, because you don't want your feelings to be hurt. You'd rather a man. You always say, "Oh yeah, tell me the truth, but say it in a nice way." So the best way a man can say the truth, but also being nice, is they leave some information out. If you're not looking good, he's not gonna say you're fat. He's just gonna say you could use a different dress, or you can come to the gym with me, something like that. But they're never gonna be upfront with you because you don't like it. Your feelings.
I mean, I want it throughout, but in upfront, yeah.
Because if your man is gonna be upfront with you, Carrie, right? Not we talking in general. If you got a man, best believe he looked at women that walk by. You don't want him to be upfront about that.
Facts. I don't care about that.
Yeah,
but and I wouldn't.
I'm not talking about just look. I'm talking about what he thought, what he actually thought.
Exactly.
Well, you telling
when
me
she walked past.
You telling me all your thoughts is different than you telling me one thing instead of telling me what it really is. And to me, he's coming across like he'll tell the woman one thing as opposed to what it really is. And like she was saying, I want you to tell me from the jump what it really is. And the way that Shaq cultivated his little example, it didn't sound like
that's because he said it depends on the woman I'm with. He said there are some women I can be upfront and honest with. There are others that cannot handle it. So some women I can say this. Others
I don't think he does that. I think that he look, Shaq, half of how he is where he is now, relationship wise, based off of what he has said, is because he didn't treat the situation he had the way he should have. So to
How is he
me,
supposed to treat a woman that never really liked him anyway?
well, I
Good
I can't.
question.
I'm just going off.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, after his ex-wife divorced him, she came out on a podcast and she said she never liked him at all. She was just there for the money. I don't think she said she was there for the money, but if a woman is with a guy who's as rich as Shaq and she never liked him at all, but she went on to be married and make babies with him, that tells you she was just in the business. Shout out to CGA. But yes, some women know what comes with men like Shaq with the money. They don't even need to ask. But a woman who maybe is new to the money or dealing with a rich man may feel like he's lying when he says he's with a friend, yet the whole time he's with a side chick. It is what it is.
What Shaq said. I know y'all said that Shawnee said she didn't like him. I'm not saying she didn't, but what I'm saying is that based off of how he's talking, even in that example, that whole the semi-open thing is what got my antennas up. Because what does that mean?
Yeah, that's him being honest.
What's
The
semi-open?
semi-open means he can step out and you can't. That's semi-open.
Yeah.
See, which
Play
I'm
your
quite
role.
sure, which I
Don't
would be
ask no
willing to,
questions.
which I would be willing to
Just
bet,
getting money.
and we don't know, but I would be willing to bet that even with Shaq and all of his money and fame, and he probably really could go up to a woman and be like, "Look, I'm not committing." He didn't come across right there like he is transparent from the jump. Maybe to certain women, like
That's what he
certain
said.
women, he might be transparent with, but the way he said semi-open, that sounds to me like depending on the girl he's kicking it with, he may or may not let them know I'm gonna be with other women. So,
But it's Shaq.
I don't
think
really
that
think
you
it
would just
matters.
assume so.
I don't think it
Would
matters.
assume it
I
regardless,
I
just because
think
of who he
that
is.
I don't think that girls care.
you don't think the girls care what?
I don't think they care. Like whether you with somebody or you're not with somebody. It just depends on
Look at Carrie
depends
face.
on it depends on the cadence.
On the cadence?
Yeah, it just depends on the cadence. It depends on it depends on how you establish what things is gonna be from the start, basically.
And like I said, I don't think that it doesn't sound like he really establishes what it really is. That's how I took it. So I think that
I think with a man like Shaq, women should know. He's rich. Like rich, rich. So any woman who thinks he's gonna be faithful, that's on you. It's just like a man expecting a woman to tell him that I'm gonna expect you to spend money on me. You should know what it is, especially with a certain type of woman. You should know she's not going to ask you, hey, this you have to spend money on me and this and that. You should know what it is dealing with a woman of a certain caliber. That you're gonna have to put some money down. You're gonna have to take her on trips and buy her gifts and stuff like that. So the same thing the ladies should know. A man like Shaq, you shouldn't have to ask, are you gonna be faithful to me or this and that? Just play your position if you're there for the money, because clearly money should be one of the things that attracts you to him.
the truth is necessary from the jump. Now, if you're upfront and you say it is what it is, this is how I'm gonna be, then that's cool. Then even then, you don't necessarily have to tell me who you're with or whatever, because you set that standard from the jump. Like, look, I'm gonna be with other chicks. I'm not going. So you might call me and I'm busy.
But even
Fine,
if he
but
does that, Carrie, that he's saying though, even if you know y'all in a semi relationship, you still don't want to hear him say
Correct.
with the other
Yeah.
You don't want the details.
You don't want to
You
hear.
don't want to know that, you know what I'm saying? Like you may not want to know everything. You say you want to know until you find out.
and
And
I think
Right.
you
that
may not be
I
built for that shit.
I think that that's going to change based off of the women. So yeah, I'm sure there are women who are like, I don't want to know. I'd rather not know. I'm
No,
not.
I
I'm
mean
not.
you gonna listen, you gonna know because you know who he is, but um You don't need to know everything because it might be a bit. You might not be built like that. Like you don't need to know the details.
That's
And
why I
I'm
understand why
and
women go
I'm
through phones.
and
I don't
I'm
either.
and I'm saying that I think that there's a difference between you telling me all the details versus you're lying to me. Like you're not telling me the truth about something.
Yeah, I mean, I see where Carrie's, and for those of you who don't know, this is Carrie. I see where she's coming from. If the woman is like, "What were you doing last night?" and he's like, "I was out with the homeboys," yet he was out with his side chick. Now he's lying. But I think what the other guys are saying on the panel is that with a man like Shaq, if he stays out all night, you as a woman, you should know what type of man, you got yourself into with. Because if a man is also with a beautiful woman, you shouldn't be shocked that she has thousands and thousands of messages in her inbox from other men. She's beautiful. Clearly, there's something that attracted you about her. So you should know what it is. But again, shout out to Anton Daniels. Link down below to the full video.